Hey there, Reverend Sully, Eric O'Sullivan, ordained on the internet. The caveat, as always, please do not burn your hands holding on to my hot takes. If you do, well, that's on you, pal. Today, I'm doing a shameless audition for the Critical Drinker. I've been trying to get his attention to do one of his famous movie jams where he discusses a movie on a live stream with a guest. And I know it's one of his favorite movies, and it's definitely my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And it's inspired me all my life. I'm talking about 1978's documentary, Pumping Iron. This is a great movie, and in this pop culture scene that's devoid of masculinity, it's a refreshing way to see a few different kinds of masculinities, from the nice guy, a baby face, to a heel, a complete villain, to someone in the middle, an American immigrant or two, and in the competitive world of bodybuilding, specifically Arnold Schwarzenegger. This wasn't originally supposed to be a Schwarzenegger movie. It was about the Mr. Olympia and Mr. Universe contests. Arnold Schwarzenegger was going for his fifth straight victory. There was a young rookie competitor by the name of Lou Ferrigno, who went on to be the Incredible Hulk in the TV series. And he was kind of a baby face, a nice guy in this, as opposed to his weight class in Arnold Schwarzenegger. And there was also the charming story of Mike Katz. He's a baby face. He was this really nice guy. He was a college football player. He had got a break and he got injured, but he kept professional bodybuilding. And he was this really nice guy compared to his opposite in Act 1. It's coming to me. It'll come to me in a second. I do these movies. I do these videos, Kurt Waller. I do these videos just in one take, in one shot. It's just my kind of thing. But Mike Katz, the baby face, versus Kurt Waller, the heel, and who was this alpha male, this ball scratching bad boy who played a dirty trick on Mike Katz in one of the competitions. It's all there, and but also we get to see this wonderful, wonderful, authentic and genuine relationship, this friendship between Franco Columbu, the Italian, who was in a different weight class. He was shorter and lighter than Schwarzenegger, and Arnold himself. They remained best friends throughout Franco's life. Franco passed away recently. He lived with Arnold, and Arnold, he was his training partner. Franco was Arnold's best friend, and I was so saddened to hear about losing Mr. Columbo. And that I follow Arnold on Twitter, and I'm glad to be tuned into his life. But I've been inspired by this movie so many times. My mom was a huge Schwarzenegger fan growing up. She loved looking at his physique, so I couldn't help but, be part of that. And I ended up being a huge Schwarzenegger fan, from Conan to Raw Deal to Red Heat, and then to Predator, and that's when he really took off. And Total Recall, the list just goes down the line. But this is like the original Schwarzenegger movie. That sense of humor he has, his one-liners, it's all throughout this movie. See, for me, Schwarzenegger is the American success story. He's an immigrant. So is my grandfather, who is his own American success story. And Arnold had three distinct careers and was a success and a champion at all three. First, being a competitive bodybuilder. Next, being a Hollywood action star. And the third being governor of California. He set his mind, and he had a mission, and he had a goal, and he conquered his goal, and he owned it. And he's, I simply love Arnold Schwarzenegger. And my inspirations from this comes through a bit of dialogue in this scene here. I'm going to butcher it, but paraphrase it. Most people in the gym, they cannot go through the pain barrier. A champion can go through the pain barrier. Most people will bounce off the pain barrier and they won't be a champion. But a champion will go through the pain barrier. And he's right. I took this advice to heart. I lost 65 pounds. It was tough. It was tough to stick to this diet. It was tough to stick through to my routine, to lose weight, and to eat the right things, and to do the right things to melt off my body fat. But now I have muscle tone. I'm down to about 14% body fat or less. I'm down from 220 pounds to between 155 and 160 pounds, and that's where I'm going to stay. I'm down from a 42 waist to a 30-inch waist, and I am a champion. And you know what? I had help. I had inspiration. I had motivation. It's just full of these little Arnold things that we see throughout the body of his movies, his sense of humor. There's this one scene he's doing this ad for there's one of these bendy things, and there are 3 bikini-clad models. One is on his shoulder, and he's a little struggling to get it, to bend. She's like, "I thought you were strong." And he's just, "Don't worry," and just leans into it and bends it. Really funny. And another one is, there's one of the promoters of the bodybuilding event in this scene right here. He's like, "Well, Lou Ferrigno's coming, and you're like the wolf on the hill, and there's only one way to go, is like off the hill." He's like, "Yeah, or I can stay on the mountain." Just, yes, I can stay on the mountain too. That's just incredible. I love that mentality. I love that ownership of owning your purpose. And there's another great scene too, where he's in the gym and he's lifting with an amateur, and he's a smaller guy, and he's showing him how to pose. He's like, "Wait a second, you little guys, you always bunch up. You know what? Show the world. Extend your arm. Look to your hand." Like, I'm paraphrasing, but he's just like, "Show yourself." And he's right. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid. Show yourself. I mean, I've been so inspired by this movie in particular, and also by the YouTube creators that I've been following for the past 2 years. So much so, I've got my own channel now. I've got my own rig, a great mic, and a decent webcam, and I'm doing it too. I'm now a YouTube content creator, and I'm ready for the big leagues too, and I'm going to stay on the mountain. So yes, to you, Will Jordan, the Critical Drinker, I read your books. I love you. I love your content. Let's jam. Do you want to talk about this magnificent, inspirational, motivational movie? I'm here for you anytime. Let's do it. And that's all I got to say for today. If you like this kind of content, well, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, give me a thumbs down. I'm a big lad. I can handle it. Leave a comment in the comments section, and please give me a subscribe. I'm an amateur theologian, an ordained minister. I do a Sunday sermon. I talk about theology and spirituality. I'm also a professional chef. I want to turn you on to my restaurant level cooking hacks so you can make delicious, nutritious, beautiful food to wow your friends and family. And if you do, I want to see pictures. I want to be wowed by what you created. Well, thank you so very much for tuning in. Critical Drinker, I'm here. I'm waiting for you. Come and get me. You want to do it yourself, don't you? I love Schwarzenegger, and I love The Critical Drinker, and I want to jam with you, man, on this movie in particular. Let's do it. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. Namaste.